Yep. Out and about. Just parked at Crowden. A little sort of 5 miler today, just to do a couple of pickups. Been chasing down the rest of these Ethels and doing also trig points in the Peak. So there's 88 trig points in the Peak District and 95 of these Ethel malarkeys, which I've sort of been doing here and there, but I've had a bit of a fly round, drive round, picking up several, you know, like roadside trigs and that sort of stuff and various things. But I've got a few left. I'm heading up there and above. So there's Hay Hedge trig point up here, which I have not been to before. I've sort of been past, you know, way adjacent to it sort of thing, but not directly to it. And then a bit above that is White Low, which is an Ethel. Again, years ago when I did this as a loop, I went up over the Pennine Way over to Black Hill and then back down that loop, but I've never done that since. It was a right bogfest back then. I presume it still is now. And then possibly break down the bank and pick up the cockpit section of the Gloster Meteors that's on Sliddens Moss. I won't be going over to the main debris, which is spread over about half a mile, but there is one random piece on the bank about quarter of a mile from the rest of it, so I'll pick that up on the way back. Start dropping on the low path via the waterfalls. And you got wild boar clough. I've not done that for a few years, probably due a revisit. Up there, and we get up here, it levels out, but only shortly. Now I've got to go up a bit more. And when I've done that to the first target, I've got to go up to the second, and then I've got to go seriously up to the third, and then down. Yeah, dear. This bit will be repeated. I'll be coming back down here. That tops out the first section. Right, so the other side of them spoils is a quarry. So it goes the inside of that, and then obviously the cliff wall is technically the opposite side. So a Hay Hedge trig point is over that way. I say, but first target is going to the quarry. So I'll just have a second here over this stile and then curl around the side of the quarry there. I come up that first section along this flat bit. It's where my paths diverge. So I'm going up this way, say to this quarry, over to a trig point over there, and then up onto there, which is White Low, down the side of that around the corner, and then to the Gloster Meteor. Right, the rest of the Gloster Meteors are over there on Sliddens Moss, on that meadow over there. You will see it better when I'm up there, probably. I'll be able to overview it better. And then so down to the Gloster Meteor, the remote section at the cockpit, and then drop down, and then this path cuts along quarter way up the bank around the corner. There's a couple of waterfalls back that way as well. So that's flat about done, and now up again, up. I hope he don't want password. Thou shalt not pass. One quarry coming up. home moss transmitter just sticking out the top. That'll come into view when I get up on top of there, definitely. One of them but rusty. So just in this quarry, just on the out leg. Climb onto here along the top and then find the path over to the Trig point. A bit of a reveal I wasn't expecting. It's quite a while since I've been up here. Ground anchors. Could have bought rope, could have done a bit of sailing. On the climb to Hay Hedge. Picked up the trail. So presumably this will take me over to the Trig point. Just see the Trig point over there. I'll go up this over this little rise and it'll come into view better. Just caught a glimpse. Hay Hedge Trig point, 424 metres. Dead edge end over there, Snail's Den over the other side, Britland Edge Hill. So that's target 2. The first one was the quarry, second one's Hay Hedge, Trig, and now up there onto White Low. So parked down there in valley, just see the quarry just over this little bit of a rise here. Hay Hedge Trig point along this flagging, just on the crack of that hill. And now I'm just hitting the crease to make the ascent up onto White Low. It's been fairly dry, but there's a couple of water courses just down there, you see them, where they cut over path. Seems to have vanished. Looks like to be a bit of flagging just off to my left. Whoop. Right, okay. So that over there is the Pennine Way. I know this one in front, the green one, the darker one in the back, is over Laddo Rocks, and the Pennine Way takes you over to Black Hill, which if I carry on this path takes you to Black Hill. So you can do that. That's like the Crowden horseshoe, I think is what they call it. So you can start at Crowden either way, up over the Pennine Way to Black Hill, and then back this way to make the loop, or obviously anti-clockwise for too muchness. That's the better path. This isn't so much. Still on the side of this cairn, another cairn just coming into view. So that's the sort of main path what takes you down to that path, and then it diverges off there, what takes you over to the Trig point. So you can go over to the Trig and then over to the quarry, or just cut straight down here. Top of the plateau or false summit. I'll find out shortly. I assume I'm still on the path. Home moss transmitter. Still on this road here. Now my target is just over there, but it's allegedly next to the trail. There's a lot of these groughs to negotiate if I go straight on. So I'm going to see whether the path does come around there and bypasses all this up and down. It's like to be a bit moist in the bottom of them. The main trail goes up there, but then there's flagging coming this way. So obviously that's going to be Ethel hunters. just making a path for it. And once one's got that way, you can see flagging, so 2 go that way, 10 go that way, 20 go that way, you end up with a path. Yeah, it pays to read the land a bit, because I was over there thinking, well, straight line, that will certainly make it more hard going, so it pays to just sort of get a coat looking at and read the ground a bit. Straight line ain't always the way you get there, but it might be a lot harder than you needed it to be. So approaching, when I get on the crest of this, I guess, is White Low Ethel. Right, what we have here is a section of moorland which could be anywhere, but it's called White Low, and it's one of these Daft Ethel things. So there's the Home Moss Road, takes you up via the transmitter. The White Low, just a hill peak in the middle of nowhere to target because it's here. So just been on to the summit of that's White Low, one of these Daft Ethels. And now heading basically that way half a mile to drop down to the Little Crowden Clough, which should put me to this side, or on this flank, which is where the last section of known Gloster Meteor is. Might be a bit rough and ready, because we're definitely off piste on this section. Right, I've got to head more or less west, 275ish. So I'm heading sort of basically in that direction. If I keep that sort of scar in front of me, I'm heading more or less right. So I'll drop down here, drop down there, and that puts me on this bank to the last known section of Gloster Meteor, and then so that puts me then in the valley. So get out of this wind. Right, just come over the top from White Low. So descending. Approaching a bracken field. That's a bit of a change. So Sliddens Moss, as I say, is there. There's that rock outcrop, and the wreckage scattered all the way across the top of that meadow up there. It scans about half a mile, and then I say there's just one random piece which somebody we know happened across. I think they were basically doing what I've done. They came off of that path to cut down into the gully for whatever reason, and just happened across it. We didn't know it was there, nobody did. That's the problem with this walking through bracken. You don't know what the bloody hell's underneath you. It's waist high, and you've just no clue what's below it. At least in the heather you've got a chance of seeing if there's a hole or anything, but this one not so much. So I'll put the camera away and concentrate on what I'm doing, because last place you want to do is come a cropper here and be totally buried by bracken, so you won't even be seen. Yeah. So I shall do that, but I'm heading just down here and just off the side of the cliff. Hopefully not literally. 300 feet just over there. However, we have a bit of a technical itch. We walked straight into a bloody bog, which might be a problem. There's a fair bit of vegetation, so I'm hoping it'll transfer my weight. Oh, see water. Okay, grief. This might not end well. I'll get lucky usually, but there's always a first time. Water. Once I tried to transfer weight, I'm kind of committed. Closest one I've had to do for a while. I'm going to get count my chickens because I'm not out of it yet. 50 feet. 45 feet. Well, here somewhere. Oh yeah. It should be here. What I have to do is just go down there and drop the bag, and then just have a bit of a better scout round. Coordinates I've got, which I've been to before, so I'll logged it on my own GPS, is over there in all that bracken. I've just been up and down and walking in circles around it, and it's nowhere to be seen. So I'll make my way that way and hopefully I can see it. I've already not gone past it, kind of thing. Yeah, a bit of a blow. Had to write that off, which is I don't know. It's waist high bracken on the slope of a hill, so it's a bit sketchy to do too much searching about. I think when I came last time we were like pretty much in the clear, but obviously the bracken's grown up all around it. You could be a foot away and not see it. It's quite a big lump, really, side of a cockpit, but just unless you happen across it, you've no chance, and that's even with coordinates. Sort of head on a swivel just in case it shines up. Very random. But anyway, that's the turnaround point. So this is Little Crowden Brook. That's a curlew. And that's the end of this. Is a waterfall. But I say chances of that being in flow particularly might be a bit slim today. But we shall see in about 30 seconds, I guess. So I'm going to the path is down there, so I'm just going to traverse along the side here until I intersect it. A little bit of flow, but nothing dramatic, certainly nothing worth a fight to get to it. And there are a couple more around the corner, but they're a bit harder to sort of get to. If you go up the path, you can go up the gully to get to that one. If you go up the path and then sort of circumvent around, you can approach the other two. The clough splits two ways, so you've got two falls coming into one. So there's the path there. You come down there, you jump the stream, and then the path goes along there and curls around. So I just thought basically I'll tangent across and down until I hit it. And this path goes all the way back. It does have a few little swampy bits in places, usually all year round. Oh yeah, bugger! Just done all that off piece, no problem at all. Get on the path, I'm tripping up left, right and bloody centre. So that's the quarry I went to this morning. So quarry's there, then up over at the top here to Hay Hedge, Trig Point, and then up onto the way up over the top to White Low. Then down the other side round that corner to look for, but failed miserably, the remote piece of the meteor, Gloster Meteor. I don't know why I couldn't find that, very strange. And now Little Crowden Brook, or Little Crowden Clough, all the way back and intersect the path below the quarry where I came in on, and then down to Crowden car park again. Caterpillar, nearly trod on him. This path goes on forever as well. So you look up, it's never any closer. Bone dry, bone dry, bone dry. swamp. Next section of bog. Oop. Deeper than you think. Mucking me boots now. There's 4 people I've seen on the walk, sort of at distance. So that woman fell running when I was up on top this morning over towards A Edge, or going up that way. Somebody else going up the side of White Low, and there's 2 people up at the quarry now. And that's it so far, 4 folk, and none close. Eventually coming to the end of this trail, I'll pull up a rock and have a cuppa before I start the descent, and that closes the loop. So I came up here this morning and I took that right tangent, so now this bit's doubled up back to the car, flat for about 100 meters, and then it descends. I say I came up it this morning, so it's that in reverse. That's it, over the stile, and it's all downhill from here. Down, 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 down onto that path. Down. Back on tarmac. So now I'm done with the terrain. This is where I'll go over on my ankle and break my leg. Now I'm back on flat. Right, just through this gate, along a bit of a trail, 100 metres, and through the other side of this wood is back to Crowden car park. Crowden campsite is here on the right, just going to come into view about now. That's it. Bit of shade. Street car from here. 6.29 miles, 3 hours 24 minutes.